Yo, what's up guys? This video, we're gonna talk about Dr. Morse, okay? Who's Dr. Morse? Should you listen to him? Does he know his stuff? And yeah, that's basically it. Spoiler alert, no, do not listen to him. Okay, now before we get into the reasons why, or why not, just wanna remind you guys, if you enjoy videos like this, that talk about non-mainstream fitness, health, fasting advice, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Put out a lot of videos like this. Try to every day, at least 5-6 times a week. So subscribe. Now, Dr. Morse seems like a nice guy. Okay, he's this like 70-ish year old guy. Helps people for free. He seems like could be like your nice grandpa or great uncle who picks you up from school and takes you to Jamba Juice to get you a fruit shake and hangs out with you and asks you about your life, how are things. It's just a generally nice jovial looking guy. Okay, great, wonderful, amazing. Now, what's the problem with his advice? Okay, now Dr. Morse's whole thing is that he says that modern medicine focuses on the circulation system, you know, your blood circulating, right, circulation system, and ignores the lymphatic system. Okay, now the lymphatic system is responsible for transporting waste throughout your body, right, removing the waste, I guess. And in that regard, he's correct. Okay, that is right. You know, most people have never heard of the lymphatic system or lymph or anything like that, unless they watch one of his videos, or unless they have cancer of the lymph nodes and they're like, oh, what's this lymph node thing? What's lymph, right? So in that regard, he's correct. Now, what's the problem with Dr. Morse's philosophy? Now, regardless, before we get into that, let's take a look, because what I like to do, I almost like to just ignore science. I like to ignore facts that people discover in a laboratory, and I like to just look first at the practical results, right? If I'm researching a new drug or supplement that I'm considering taking, the first thing that I'm going to look up is experiences, right? I'm going to Google, you know, drug X experiences, drug X 30-day report, and I'm going to very heavily consider the aggregate of experiences from people who have gone through that. Okay, I'm gonna look at what they say. I'm gonna say, did they feel better? Did they look better? Did they make improvements in certain areas? Was their overall quality of life better? If yes, then I'll consider looking at the science. If they say no, I didn't feel anything, nothing happened, then I'll just ignore it. Okay, now obviously some of that is going to be placebo effect. I'm aware of that. But I believe that overall, you're not going to have 1,000 people out of 1,000 who are going to experience results because of the placebo effect. Okay, so just my own little system. It's worked for me. Take from it what you will, if anything. So how does this relate to Dr. Morse? Now, if you I'm a part of some of his Facebook groups, and if you go to some of these Facebook groups, the people who adhere to his philosophy are not healthy people. They're not athletes, they're not fit, they're not in shape, they are not nutritionally educated, I guess you could say. Now, I'm not saying they're not a nutritionist, or they're not a registered dietitian, or they don't have a personal training certification, which I think is worth the paper it's printed on. But these people do not have experience with different forms of health and fitness, I guess is the best way to put it. One reason that I Snake Diet Guy is because, number one, he tries all of his crazy fasting stuff before he talks about it. And number two, you can tell that he's also tried a lot of other really crazy stuff as well, and gives his opinion based on his own experiences. Same thing with Vegetable Police. The guy has tried a million billion different things and gives his advice based on his experience. Now, I don't agree so much with all of his stuff. Some of it I do. But anyway, Dr. Morse, let's talk about that. These people, you can tell that the people who are attracted to Dr. Morse's philosophy are people who are looking for a quick fix, okay? And the reason I say that is because Dr. Morse promotes things that are also non-mainstream. Okay, he talks about the lymphatic system. He's got like all kinds of like spiritual stuff that he talks about, which is fine. Okay, I have no problem with that just because there's no evidence. No, I know it sounds weird, but like if he got results, I'd be like, okay, like who cares about the science? It works, you know? But it doesn't work. And I think that people are attracted to this like new answer or different answer than like the common wisdom of, you know, don't eat bad foods and exercise. People don't want to hear that. They're like, yeah, I know I need to eat healthy and exercise, but like, tell me about this other thing that might work so that I don't have to change any part of my life that I don't feel like changing because I'm lazy. I feel like Dr. Morse attracts a lot of those people, okay? Also, he attracts a lot of like sick people who are looking for answers and, you know, might not have the strength of will to join a gym and to put themselves through that like long, hard road of achieving optimal health through training your body, okay? I get that. Now, if you take a look at his Facebook groups, like I said, the people in there are sick. They're not healthy people. They're not fit people. They're not people who you would want to ever trade places with. Not a single person in there that I've seen has like a body that I would want, right? And I know, you know, okay, fine, maybe that's shallow of me to think that, but like, these people are not healthy. They don't look healthy. They have no muscle. They're fat. They're overweight. And virtually every single one is complaining about a healing crisis, which, you know, what do they mean by healing crisis, right? This is very big in like the vegan community where they'll say like, oh, I've been raw vegan for 3 months and the first 3 weeks were great, but then week 5, I had a healing crisis that lasted for 14 days and I got sick and I couldn't leave my bed. And it's like, is it really, and the whole healing crisis thing is basically like, my body has all these toxins built up and stored inside it. And because I went vegan for so long, my body finally has enough energy to deal with all of this like poisonous stuff that's inside it. And the expulsion of these poisons or toxins or whatever is causing a healing crisis, which is having a negative effect on my body temporarily, but will ultimately lead to a greater level of health. That's a healing crisis, right? That's the apparent definition of a healing crisis. You know, is it really a healing crisis that these people are going through? Or is it malnourishment from lack of certain vitamins and nutrients from only eating a vegan diet, right? Which is what Dr. Morse advocates. He says he's got 3 or 4 or 5 different levels of his like ultimate health. And the first level is vegan, right? So that should just show you right there, like what you're dealing with, right? Like if you look at vegans, okay, they're not healthy looking people. And that's only like level 1 of Dr. Morse's like health philosophy is to be a vegan. Okay, so right away we're like off on the bad foot. And then I think he also like recommends like no salt also, like eventually. So, I mean, how are you even like supposed to be alive, right? I don't get it. Yeah, I mean, look at the people in his group, join some of the Facebook groups, like don't go in there and like hate on them and like, oh, you guys are unhealthy and you should feel bad and blah, blah, like don't be a hater, right? Like let them do what they want. You know, ultimately like, and if I thought that would help, I would say, yeah, go do it. But people are in that group, not necessarily, yeah, some of them probably want to fix their health, but I feel like most of them probably are just looking for some community to join and to complain to, if that makes sense, which is kind of sad, but it is what it is. Yeah, so vegan, not good. Number 2, the people in that group are very sick. They have weak immune systems, and the lies that are kind of being told to them or sold to them, I guess, is that they're weak because they have all these toxins that they need to get out of their body. And then they keep following this protocol, which is further weakening them and further like entrenching them in this system of like, oh, it's a healing crisis. You have to like get even more toxins out of your body. Buy my like $70 tincture that has like these herbs that you can get on Amazon for like $6, but I put them in a little bottle and I put my face on it, so it must be good, right? Not good. Don't do it. Do what you want, obviously, but like, and then I guess the final reason why you should not listen to Dr. Morse is like, look at the guy. Like, no offense, Dr. Morse. I guess you have some good advice for some people. Maybe you've helped some people in the past, but you're not a healthy looking guy, bro. Like, I'm sorry. Like, when's the last time you've seen the inside of a gym? Like, ever? Like, no offense, but how do you get off giving advice to people about their health when you yourself are not, like, it doesn't even look like you're trying, like, to be honest with you. Like, are you even trying to be healthy yourself? No, you're like 70 pounds overweight. Like, how do you get 70 pounds overweight from eating only fruit? Like, I don't get it. Like, how does that happen? I just don't get it. Anyway, that's my little spiel on Dr. Morse. If you guys have any questions about that, if you're like a Dr. Morse fanboy and you want to tell me how like he cured your epilepsy or something, like, please let me know. Like, tell me I'm wrong, because like the guy definitely has some interesting ideas. Tell me I'm wrong, tell me what to do, I'll try it, you know? But probably not gonna happen, so yeah, anyway, make sure you subscribe for more fantastic videos like this with chicken noises. Yeah, peace.